Hello everyone, I'm back, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. Throughout the recent years, many disturbing things have been caught on dash cams. From weird unidentified creatures to killers and to many other unexplainable phenomena. So today I decided to highlight some of the most chilling and downright horrifying things ever caught on dash cams. So grab your maximum fear coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we recap the scariest dashcam clips ever. Taking a look at some scary footage coming from an interior dashcam of a taxi driver. The footage was released right at the beginning of the year and it took place in Japan. This taxi driver was stopped waiting to pick someone up. He recalled that a woman walked up to his back door and opened it, but a few seconds later when he turned around and looked, no one was there. Could he have just been imagining this woman? If so, how did the door open? The driver, obviously confused, closed the door and continued driving, not thinking too much of this strange encounter. Shortly after, he enters a dimly lit tunnel. And right when he enters this tunnel, something horrifying happens in the back seat. A terrifying dark shadow of a woman manifests behind him. And as soon as he exits the tunnel, she vanishes. Only to eventually reappear one more time and then vanish again. The video is deeply disturbing. The innocent taxi driver had no idea that this was going on behind him. Her hair is dark and her body is dark. However, zooming in and enhancing the photo, we can get a rather clear look at the woman's face. She appears younger. She has her left eye open and her right eye closed. Her eye looks dark and sunken. According to the driver, he reportedly felt uneasy while this was going on, but claims he had no idea it happened until he checked the footage later. The driver believes this was indeed a spirit that belongs to a woman who tragically died on this road, particularly in this very tunnel. So what do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments. This chilling police dashcam footage was just taken on January 24th, 2024. An Oklahoma trooper by the name of Jesse Gregory was conducting a routine traffic stop on the side of the highway when the unexpected happened. He approaches the passenger side window and begins talking to the driver. But watch what happens next.
Okay, that took a long time. You're suspended. Yeah, I'm not taking you to jail. I'm letting you drive off. 362 City, I was just hit by a car. Start EMS.
Out of nowhere, an out-of-control SUV slams into the back left side of the stopped vehicle, sending the officer flying into the grass behind. He gets up to his feet and stumbles back over to his cruiser where he says, "I just got hit by a car, start EMS." Despite how scary this looks, the police officer and all others involved only suffered minor, non-life-threatening injuries. News outlet WHAS 11 did an exclusive interview with Trooper Jesse Gregory, and here's what he had to say.
I didn't hear brakes or anything. I just remember going flying. Kind of had some swelling on the top of my arm. I kind of have some purple bruising all through my hand.
Gregory is very lucky to be alive, let alone barely even injured. And just imagine what would have happened if he decided to conduct the traffic stop from the other side of the vehicle. And there's currently an ongoing investigation to figure out why this happened. How did the driver lose control? Was it on accident or was it calculated? I will keep you all updated when more information is released. The following horrifying dashcam footage comes from southern Mexico. A man who wishes to remain anonymous was driving down a deserted mountain road out in the complete middle of nowhere. It was very late at night. They should have been the only ones out there, but it turns out they were not alone. Some sort of glowy, fiery figure is seen. A figure which the drivers called the Burning Witch. The strange witch appears suddenly and then after a few seconds completely disappears. Looking closer, it appears this being is wearing a strange robe. And freezing the footage here, we can even see its head is ablaze. This obviously cannot be a human, considering a human would not be able to walk around while engulfed in flames. And they're in the complete middle of nowhere, and it's the middle of the night. The uploaders claim they saw that witch a couple times this night, so they began driving after it and they finally caught it on camera. Online viewers began to speculate that maybe the land or that road in particular was haunted, and it was cursed and is home to evil witch spirits. Others have no clue. The other day I was doing some research trying to find some clips to feature in this video, when it was brought to my attention that something horrifying was going on in that exact moment. In Louisville, Kentucky, there was a multiple car crash that led to a semi-truck dangling off the side of the Clark Memorial 2nd Street Bridge. Here is the horrifying live footage. I mean, the semi is just hanging on by a thread. If it weren't for that one steel beam and the guardrail, the driver would have been doomed. It looks like even just an inch further and they would have plummeted hundreds of feet into the waters below. But take a look at the bravery of the rescue team. They slowly lowered one of the rescuers down to the front of the truck where the driver was, where he reached into the truck and safely got the driver out and attached to him. Then they slowly were raised up to safety. The driver was reportedly stuck in the truck, just barely hanging on for dear life for over 40 minutes. Just imagine being in this position. You're just sitting there trying not to move a muscle because you know any sudden movement could cause you to fall to your death. Even the slightest of movements could have caused the truck to dislodge and plummet into the deep dark rivers below. For 40 minutes straight, that woman had to just sit there knowing that at any moment her life could end. But luckily, she was saved. This is definitely some kind of miracle. The police force even stated, quote, "It was incredible that the truck didn't completely fall in, and the woman was okay, but she was obviously shaken up. But they said she seemed to be stable and that she held it together like a champ." Just a completely shocking event that miraculously everyone survived. Now this is some of the most famous footage of Bigfoot ever, and I'm sure some of you have seen it or at least even heard about it. It comes from Lumpkin County, Georgia on May 16th, 2009. A police officer and city worker were traveling a dark road, surrounded by trees and fields. They drove for a while. They were deep in conversation until the police cruiser's dashcam picked this up.
First, ask questions after they've got your body. How don't you know? Yeah, I've had several of them tell me that. Well, my property is looking for no good, I'm gonna shoot them.
Absolutely. Whoa, the heck?
What the crap?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yes.
Holy crap.
What the heck was that?
That was on 2 feet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The reactions seem very genuine and you can tell they're completely shocked. And keep in mind this clip comes from 2009, when dash cameras were not nearly as high quality as they are now. So the supposed Bigfoot is hard to see. But take a look at the enhanced video. Enhancing the video in different ways gives us multiple looks at this strange creature. Why people believe this is such credible evidence is because it comes from an actual police officer, and the city worker witnessed it as well. And you can even hear the officer say, "It was on 2 feet, wasn't it?" Telling us even more that it was something unknown and mysterious. And actually, the officer himself later came out and said that he really believes they encountered Bigfoot that night. And if it wasn't Bigfoot, it was something else unknown. This dashcam footage was taken at Vickers Hill Armagh in Northern Ireland. The video was so scary and so convincing that it made it onto multiple news outlets. A man had his car parked on the side of the brick path when he noticed something out of place. A person in very old attire is seen on the left side of the road. They walk across the road and everything seems relatively normal. That is until it walks entirely through the fence and wall on the other side. The figure dressed in attire from the olden days seems to phase right through the barrier. On the other side of where it disappeared to is a pretty old church called the St. Patrick's Church of Ireland Cathedral. This makes it even more convincing, considering it's walking onto the grounds of a spiritual place. Because of all of this, people began to speculate that this was the spirit of someone who lived there long ago. But some skeptics say it's simply an optical illusion, and that there's an unseen entrance right where they pass through, but we can't see it from this angle. Could this be the case? It doesn't really look like an optical illusion to me, but I'll let you, the viewers, be the judge of this one. Taking a look at more police dashcam footage, it all began when local police officers received a call about a man threatening a family with a knife. Police respond quickly and arrive on the scene. They are met with an angry, shirtless man screaming at them with a knife in hand.
Drop the knife! Put the knife down! Drop the knife now! Drop it now! Drop it now!
He's obviously dangerous. They try to get him to drop the knife, but he won't comply. The police need to handle this situation as quickly as they can because the place of incident was only a quarter-mile away from the local high school. And the time was approximately 2:30 in the afternoon, which means the students were in the process of being dismissed. Eventually, he angrily spikes the knife on the ground. He puts his hands up and finally complies.
Hey, drop the knife! Hey, I got taser.
The police apprehend the man just in time. The shirtless, unhinged man was 34-year-old Christopher Lanzio. It was later determined the reason he was acting this way is because he was heavily intoxicated. Definitely a scary piece of video, but luckily no one was harmed. The following video comes from Caçapava, Sao Paulo in Brazil. A man was driving along the vacant streets very late at night. It was so late that not many cars were driving on the roads at all. His dashcam shows him driving around for a little, until he eventually reaches a red light at a two-way intersection. This is when a small, unknown creature emerges from the darkness. It emerges and runs across the road. It's very, very small and odd looking. Enhancing the footage and taking a closer look, the creature seems pale and it's estimated at a height of around 2 feet. It's hunched over and it's bipedal. Because it's bipedal, it pretty much rules out the possibility of it being any known animal. The driver states that it didn't look human at all, and he says he still doesn't even in the slightest have a clue of what it could have been. This is when commenters began to offer up different theories, the most prominent theory being a goblin. A goblin is a small, grotesque-looking creature that terrorizes everyone and everything in its path. Its goal is to wreak havoc wherever it goes. These creatures may be small, but according to legend, they're also strong and menacing. Others speculate skinwalkers or other supernatural beings. But skeptics suggest the video is simply CGI or edited. But others point out that it has a shadow, which would be very hard to edit in digitally, so it remains unclear. Sticking with the theme of police dashcam footage, these Texas police officers pulled up to the scene of a car crash, but not just any ordinary car crash. You can see a white SUV has crashed and lodged itself into a local home. Multiple officers rushed to the scene of this dangerous accident, and it appeared everyone was okay. But then, as officers began approaching the scene, something completely unexpected happened. The entire house explodes. It turned out when the car was sent hurtling into the home, it ruptured a gas line within the home, causing the whole thing to eventually ignite and rapidly burst into flames. The initial shock completely caught the officer by surprise and even knocked him back. According to reports, the explosion was so devastating that the shock of it even destroyed nearby homes. It busted windows and caused roofs to crack, and it caused a super bright, intense light that completely lit up the whole entire area. And according to YouTube channel Witnessed, it caused severe damage and injuries, but it wasn't made clear what exactly happened. But the officer was okay, however, he experienced the shock of a lifetime. Taking a look at a chilling close encounter. It happened on Route 51 in Jefferson County, West Virginia, on May 26, 2021. It comes from a woman named Amber Rivas. At the time of the footage, an intense, severe storm was traveling through the area. The storm had wind speeds of up to 70 miles per hour, which can be exceptionally dangerous. But take a look what happened as Amber drove through this storm. The whole strip of power lines on the left-hand side collapse, coming super close to Amber's car. She barely swerves out of the way just in time. If she wasn't paying attention and these power lines came in contact with her car, let's just say it would have been devastating. If live power lines come in contact with vehicles, they most times fatally electrocute the people inside. Sometimes these wires just even coming in contact a little bit with the ground nearby to a vehicle would be enough to send shocks through the road and into the car. But luckily, somehow these wires here didn't electrocute Amber, or anyone else on the road at all for that matter. But like a lot of these clips, it could have had a much worse outcome, and if it would have, I'm sure we wouldn't have seen it, as it would have been far too graphic. This very strange and unexplainable clip was captured by two guys named Pedro and Hector Flores. They were apparently in the middle of a long road trip. Only a few hours into their trip, they came across what appeared to be an accident scene on the side of the road. Being intrigued by the situation, the passenger then began recording as they drove by. Here is the footage. At first glance, you probably don't see anything unexplainable, just a pretty bad accident. But if you zoom in and look back towards the train tracks, a strange humanoid figure can be seen. And the craziest part is that this accident did result in a fatality. Because this fatal accident had just occurred and seen in the background is a strange figure, people quickly suspected that this could be the ghost or a manifestation of the person who died here. That is the most believed theory, with people saying, how could this be a coincidence? Someone just died here and then seen in the background is a mysterious figure. Others have absolutely no clue what to make of this footage. Alright, I think it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like buttons, mom. Let's aim for 2,000 likes for another one of these scary dashcam videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Maxwell Fear, or you can go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Maximum Fear YT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because only 14% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And feel free to check out my special Maximum Fear merchandise, it's in the description down below. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.